Plane hijacked. The local ties to a suspect also facing terrorism charges in BC. Emotional victim impact statements. The family of a 33-year-old killed at the hands of her common-law spouse speak out. And an ongoing warranty battle.
I'm not leaving, and I'm not going to back down without a fight.
A couple's dream home turned a nightmare.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Wake everybody up, now.
Pre-dawn panic off Ottawa Street this morning. Neighbors jolted awake as flames engulfed part of a commercial building. Good evening and thank you for joining us. The details on that early morning blaze in just a moment. But first, we're learning the man now facing hijacking and terrorism charges in BC appears to have ties to Windsor, Essex. Public social media accounts identify Shahir Kasim as a former St. Clair College student who later worked as a personal support worker in this region. The college confirms a student with the same name graduated in 2023. He is now charged after a small plane was taken from Victoria and flown straight to Vancouver International Airport, circling at low altitude for nearly half an hour. The plane landed safely, but video shows police closing in as the pilot walked backwards with hands in the air. NORAD confirms F-15 fighters were scrambled in response, though they never intercepted. Kasim, who has a history of climate activism and once claimed to be a commercial airline pilot, is now facing hijacking and terrorism offenses. RCMP have not disclosed a motive, but air traffic recording refers to a possible protest. In other news, the push to make Sandpoint Beach safer is gaining new urgency. A formal recommendation from Ontario's coroner is now calling on the city to conduct a full safety audit, something that hasn't been done in more than a decade. CTV's Chris Campbell has the details for us tonight. Chris.
Yes, Stephanie, the call for a new aquatic safety audit comes in the wake of a fatal drowning at Sandpoint Beach in May and a 13-year gap since the last review. CTV News obtained a copy of the coroner's letter, which recommends Windsor immediately bring the Life Saving Society to reevaluate the area, citing updated waterfront safety standards and changing conditions.
Let's do what the society recommends and follow through, and I'm confident that our council will do the right thing and will prioritize this, and we will have a place that we can be proud of for people of Windsor today and tomorrow.
The last audit was done in 2012, and the coroner's office says a lot has changed since then. Ward 7 Councillor Angelo Marignani says residents from across the city have been pushing for improvements, not just to safety, but to overall beach quality. Marignani says council has already approved a master plan to revamp the beach, but a new audit could help secure funding and fast-track the process. The city has until September 30th to formally respond to the coroner's recommendation. Marignani says this is a chance to polish what he calls a gem of the city and make Sandpoint Beach a place Windsor can truly be proud of.
I'm getting calls and emails from everyone in the city saying how they want this to be brought to the level of beauty, safety, and quality that it should be, not just for us, but for future generations, something that we can leave and say, this is, we made it better, and we will make it better.
Marignani says he's doubtful the beach will reopen to swimmers this year, but remains optimistic it could return revamped next summer, with goals to see the entire beach master plan finished in a years-long phased-in approach. Stephanie?
Okay, we'll have to wait and see. Chris Campbell tonight. Thank you, Chris. Back to Ottawa Street now, with residents near Langoys awoken by fire crews just before 5 this morning. Called to a structure fire at the Canada Salvage Building, which does have apartments above. Fire officials say the flames broke out at the back of the building, triggering a gas line break that shut down a stretch of Ottawa Street. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but 8 people have been displaced from 5 apartments. Arson has not been ruled out. A warning about this next story. It contains graphic and upsetting content about intimate partner violence and death. It's from the courts, where a man has admitted to killing his spouse in a fit of jealous rage. Michelle Molesky has the details on this for us tonight. Michelle.
Yeah, Stefanie, even the lawyers in this case were at times emotional today in court when talking about the facts. Just another reminder, the evidence is difficult to hear. Both the victim and the man who killed her were in Leamington to work while supporting their families in the Philippines and Honduras, respectively. 33-year-old Charmaine Carling was killed on September 29, 2022. Her common-law spouse, 41-year-old David Espinoza Montez, has admitted to stabbing her in the rooming house the couple shared in Leamington. She was unarmed, defenseless, attacked in the sanctity of her own home, and the assault was vicious. Assistant Crown Attorney Nicole Stortini said Thursday. Stortini says Carling was stabbed 48 times, 21 of them in her back, 17 to her neck and torso. He learned that the victim was seeing another man, defense lawyer Patricia Brown said, before quickly adding, "There is no excuse. He regretted it immediately, went to get help." "I know that now I have lost so much for a moment of anger," Espinoza Montez said to the judge with the help of a Spanish interpreter. "I know that what I am going to say is not going to change the past, but I am truly remorseful for what I have done. The brutality of my sister's murder, committed in the very home she once called her sanctuary, has shattered our sense of safety and left us living in constant fear," Carling's sister wrote to the court. Charmaine's family, who rely on her as the breadwinner, were greatly impacted financially, another relative told the court. Her children suffered greatly, and as a result, they had to stop going to school. The defense and Crown have agreed on a sentence and are asking for a period of parole ineligibility of 12 years in prison. Justice Joseph Perfetto will rule on Wednesday. The judge had intended to rule late this afternoon, but it would have been 3 o'clock in the morning where Carling's family lives. They watched today's proceedings via Zoom. Instead, the judge will give Espinoza Montez his sentence this coming Wednesday, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. Stefanie.
Okay, and we will hear from you then. Okay.
Definitely.
Michelle Molesky, thank you.
You're welcome.
A face-to-face sale arranged online allegedly ended with fake cash and a quick getaway. Now, Windsor police say a 27-year-old is facing charges for the second time in 2 months. Police say the man used counterfeit bills to steal a drone during a meetup on Dougal Avenue, then took off on a motorcycle. He was arrested Tuesday night at a home in Isabel Place. Investigators encourage online deals to be done in their safe exchange zone on Jefferson. And in a separate case, a 31-year-old man is facing 44 criminal charges after police found 3 stolen vehicles, a fraudulently rented trailer, and dozens of stolen ID documents, including checks, insurance papers, and personal info linked to multiple victims. To Leamington, where OPP stopped a driver on Satinwood Crescent Wednesday morning, saying he showed signs of impairment. The 33-year-old is now facing charges for allegedly being impaired by both alcohol and drugs, with cocaine, open liquor, and cannabis also found in the vehicle. And over on CTV News Windsor.ca, a drug bust in Leamington, with OPP charging 4 people, including a 17-year-old. Read about how much cocaine and meth police say the group had online. A contentiously relocated homeless encampment in Chatham has neighbors dialing in to 911, and police say that needs to stop. The Chatham Kent Police Service is reminding people only call 911 for real emergencies. The department says it's been getting calls, a wave of them, about the encampment on Grand Avenue East, located on Public Utility Commission property. Officers say they're aware, and under the municipal encampment protocol, those staying there are permitted to do so. Any concerns should go through 311 or the non-emergency line. Now, you don't have to call anyone to answer our question of the day. Should encampments be allowed on municipal properties? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked, have you ever seen someone misusing a public garbage can? Nearly 600 votes came in. The majority say no, they haven't. A Bell River couple say they are depleted, both emotionally and financially, trying to fix what they say is upwards of $1 million in deficiencies to their new construction home. They say the costly problems are now making them physically ill.
We bought our house in 2016, coming inside and see the deficiencies.
This 2,500 square foot house was supposed to be Michael and Suzanne Baudouin's dream home.
We've tried so hard to make sure that we've provided our children with a lovely life, and Now we're stuck.
Before they moved in, they had what's called a pre-possession inspection with the home builder Ever Young Homes, when they say they addressed obvious concerns.
The communication with the builder was very frustrating. He would not properly address the situations.
They say Ever Young argued the deficiencies were, quote, satisfactory. One night,
there was a big storm, and we ended up with taking the walls out, and we had black mold everywhere. It had turned out to be a massive leak. It was coming from the side wall of the upper stairs bedroom, through the garage roof, down the dining room wall, down into the basement.
They say they contacted their insurance company, who told them the water damage is the responsibility of the home builder.
We had to tear up the floors, the walls, the ceiling.
1 month later, the insurance company canceled their policy. In 2019, they launched a lawsuit against Ever Young Homes, but they say that hasn't helped.
It's been 5 years of this lawsuit, and we are stuck.
They say they can no longer afford lawyers.
We paid them for a product that they did not properly deliver.
In an email sent to CTV News, Ever Young Homes Limited writes, as this matter is currently the subject of ongoing litigation, we are unable to provide comment at this time. The Baudouins acquired an independent engineering report that they say cost them roughly $10,000. They add an independent home builder from Sarnia analyzed their home and estimated damage to be upwards of $1 million due to inadequate waterproofing of doors, windows, and the envelope of the home, creating unwanted moisture and mold.
I've been very sick from it. I chronic headaches, migraines. You get migraines too from it. The breathing issues, the asthma, the kids have it.
It's a dollar figure the Baudouins can't afford.
We're not leaving. I'm not leaving this home. We fought hard to have it. We fought hard to keep it. I'm not leaving, and I'm not going to back down without a fight.
We continue this story tomorrow, looking into who holds full responsibility for home deficiencies and to what degree. The former head of Windsor Regional Hospital is reassuring the community the future of the acute care hospital project remains on track, despite his departure from the organization, while hospital officials zero in on the type of person they need as the CEO next time around.
Definitely a really strong candidate with a lot of hospital, I think, experience from an administrative perspective, really understanding not only the Windsor-Essex landscape, but what we're working on provincially and how we're moving forward to really position not just Windsor Regional, but our community and what their needs are.
Windsor Regional Hospital's acting president and CEO, Karen Rydell, speaking with CTV News today. Both she and David Mouget were on Mornings with Mike and Meg after the hospital confirmed yesterday that Mouget would not be returning to Windsor after spending more than a year at London Health Sciences Centre to help tackle operational and financial challenges. Construction of the new hospital is expected to begin in early 2026 on County Road 42 and the 9th concession near Windsor Airport. Mouget says he'll continue to advocate for the new hospital while officials search for leadership replacements.
Until Karen, retires, I'll be directly involved, and then the new president and CEO will decide how involved I would be after that point. But regardless of that, I'll be the biggest advocate for the project with the government. Luckily, they're on speed dial with me right now.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me now for a first look at the weather from the top of the Bell building. Gary, looking windy out there right now, but it's going to be a little pleasant tomorrow.
Windy tonight through this evening. Much of the latter stage of the afternoon, we saw gusts in that 25 to 35 kilometer per hour range, but the benefit, it helped clear out that stagnant, polluted air mass, so air quality has improved greatly over the last, say, 8 to 12 hours, and it will be a cool, breezy end of evening into the overnight. We'll see sunshine as things clear out, the worst weather being south of Lake Erie, pushing east and to the north and east of us. And meanwhile, a clearing for tomorrow. We'll wake up to sunshine and a temperature that's slightly below seasonal for a daytime high. Imagine that. It's been a long time coming. I'll break down what you need to know as we look ahead to the weekend forecast and more. That's coming up. For now, I'll send it back inside to you.
If you've ever had a Stymar donut or grabbed a coffee there, you may have this man to thank.
Definitely missed. Even though he's far away, you know, with social media, he was even at 96 FaceTiming and stuff like that.
Luigi Stefano, one of the original founders of Stymar Bread Company, has passed away at the age of 96. He died Tuesday in Australia, surrounded by his wife and family. Back in 1959, he and partner Luigi Marson combined their names to create Stymar, a business that became a Windsor staple. They pioneered the donut and coffee business together. Stefano moved to Australia in 1970 and found success there as well, this time in real estate.
We always admired him for his risk-taking, you know, because he did things, and with 8 kids, you know, that's a big risk to start a business and stuff. I don't know what else to say. He was just a really lovely man.
Windsor's homeless hub is getting a temporary boost as the city works towards a permanent fix. City administration is putting together a plan to improve the current H4 site at the former Waterworld. With a permanent location still being sorted out, Mayor Drew Dilkin says council will soon be asked to greenlight short-term upgrades. The long-term plan could cost as much as $80 million. But in the meantime, the city wants to ensure supports can continue where they currently are.
We just have to do some capital work inside, like filling in an old swimming pool. That would certainly open up a lot more space to allow us to deal with some of the pressures that we're experiencing today. So we're putting those pieces together in terms of the short-term plan to bring back to City Council for their consideration.
Golf carts are officially good to go on Boblo Island. Amherstburg Council has greenlit a new bylaw letting Boblo Island residents register and drive golf carts on the island roads from April through November. It's part of a provincial pilot program, and while the town asks included more communities, for now it's only Boblo Island. Residents need a permit, insurance, a driver's license, and $75 to sign up. A local Paralympian is back home after helping Team Canada qualify for the Wheelchair Rugby World Championships. The Canadians didn't bring home the medal they wanted, but Matt Debley returned with a memory of a lifetime, a match winner. CTV's Bob Belichico joins us now. And Bob, the game was pretty intense.
Yeah, hi, Stephanie. You know, this medal was won in dramatic fashion, but I think more impressive about this bronze is the fact that Team Canada went into the tournament with a lot of uncertainty.
We were getting better and better every time, to the point where it looked like we'd been playing together our whole careers.
Windsor's Matt Debley had a career moment at the World Wheelchair Rugby Americas Championship. Trailing the entire match against Colombia, Canada came back to tie it.
Debley now in trouble.
Debley wasn't in trouble for long. Check it out. With time running out, he finds a seam.
Caldwell on the attack. Debley has it. Scores the try with 3.8.
To actually be up on the court playing at that moment and contributing to a comeback win like that in such an important game for us was really, really special. And it's something that I'm going to remember, hopefully up until the next one.
Entering this one, Debley wasn't sure how Canada would fare. 4 players dropped out before the tournament for various reasons, leaving Canada with only 8 players on the roster. Debley says the team practiced for 2 days prior to the tournament, and then it was game time.
But the fact that we were able to just pretend like nothing was different, and we all kind of came together and we were really able to grind out games is really impressive.
The win punched Canada's ticket to the World Championships, being hosted in the same facility in Brazil next year. Debley says the Canadian team is going through a rebuild and has not matched the success of recent years.
But it's also been a lot of fun and a nice challenge to try and build Canada back up onto that podium.
Debley plays for a team in Seattle in one of the best leagues in the world.
Everyone back home, thank you so much.
He'd like to see the formation of a pro circuit and is excited about the growth of the game, which pulled in about 14,000 fans per game at the Paris Olympics last summer.
I love it when it's loud, and I love it even more when it's loud against us. You know, it's a special feeling to try and quiet a crowd in a crazy stadium. So we want fans, we want eyes on the sport, and we want to show that not only are we elite athletes, but Canada is one of the top countries in the world.
After a quick and deserved break, Debley will then dive into training, which he'll do until the early parts of October. That's when Team Canada will begin its selection process for next year's team. His first tournament with Seattle is Halloween weekend. Stefanie?
Can't wait. Okay, Bob Belichico, thank you for this.
It's been just foot to the floor nonstop.
Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, car sales seemingly untouched by tariffs, but how long before prices climb? A new report says we're already in a recession and the job losses could soon start piling up. And tomorrow, more on that Bell River dream home turned nightmare. A deeper dive tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. When it comes to car sales, new figures reported by Statistics Canada paint a rosy picture on dealer lots. But as CTV's Robert Lothian reports, at least one analyst projects the sales surge may be short-lived.
On the lot at LaSalle's Riam Chevrolet, cars are moving fast.
We're having a banner year. It's been just foot to the floor nonstop.
Despite initial concerns, the dealership has so far been left unscathed by tariffs and trade uncertainty. Instead, sales are up across the board.
If anything, it's maybe put a little bit of pressure on customers to, if you were concerned about the market, to get out early and get ahead of it.
That tracks with nationwide figures. Statistics Canada data shows a 5% increase in new vehicle sales in May compared to the same month last year.
The sales have been up a little bit in the months as we predicted, but that pull ahead still will balance out in the rest of the year.
Out of Forecast Solutions, Sam Fiorani believes consumers are trying to get ahead of higher costs that many predicted U.S. tariffs would bring.
Just because the prices haven't gone up in the first half doesn't mean they're not going to go up. The tariffs have just started to kick in, and that's the prices haven't affected the consumer.
Heading into the second half of 2025, analysts predict a slowdown. A new report from Scotiabank projects a softening of the market caused by a softer labor market and uncertainty.
If consumers don't like the prices in the second half, sales will go down, hoping that the prices will come down in 26.
On the sales floor, Howell says the work doesn't stop to keep turning cars over.
We can't expect anything to last forever. We need to do better and, earn more customers.
Robert Lothian, CTV News.
A miniature version of a massive project officially unveiled at the University of Windsor. This scale model of the Gordie Howe International Bridge now sits inside the Ed Lumley Center for Engineering Innovation, built at a 1/750 scale. It celebrates years of teamwork between the university and the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority. Students who worked on it called the experience unforgettable.
Being a part of it, especially as a student, is just so incredible. We learn things in the classroom, and then when you actually get to see it in real life, a massive infrastructure project, it's absolutely incredible. And getting to see how different people work together, different teams all collaborate and unite together towards a common goal and accomplish amazing things, it's outstanding.
More than 53,000 unionized Canada Post workers will begin voting on what the Crown Corporation says is its final contract offer on Monday. The deal includes a wage hike of more than 13% over 4 years, but would also see part-time jobs added for weekend parcel delivery service. That is something the Canadian Union of Postal Workers has pushed back against, while Canada Post says the changes are necessary for its struggling business. The union has urged members to reject the deal. Nearly 60% of Canadian mortgage holders could be paying more by 2026. That's according to the Bank of Canada. The bank says even as rates slowly fall, most borrowers will see higher payments when they renew, especially those who locked in during ultra-low interest periods. Mortgages up for renewal this year will jump by about 10% on average. In 2026, the increase is expected to be closer to 6%, depending on the type of mortgage. Fixed-rate holders, particularly those on 5-year terms, could see the biggest hikes up to 20%. And if higher mortgage payments weren't enough to rattle your wallet, a bleak new outlook suggests Canada may already be in a recession and mass job losses could be next. Oxford Economics says defense spending might offer a short-term boost, but it won't be enough to reverse what is believed in this ongoing downturn. The report predicts Canada could lose up to 140,000 jobs by year's end, as the impact of U.S. tariffs spreads to other sectors, triggering new waves of layoffs. Canada's main stock index was up today based on strength in the technology sector. In Toronto, the TSX gained 234 points. In New York, the Dow added 230, the Nasdaq up 154. The Canadian dollar fell a fifth of a cent. On commodity markets, gold lost almost $14 an ounce and oil gained more than $1 a barrel.
In my total of 17 years as a career firefighter, this is a first.
Still ahead, a call for help turns emotional fast, with a tiny life in 4 paws hanging in the balance.
Let's look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Yum, yum. This deer is chopping on some fresh grass there and some cooler air. We'll break down what you need to know, see if this deer and all of us are going to enjoy cooler air into the weekend.
Quite windy out there, felt more like fall instead of summer. Gary joins me again for an extended look. Gary.
We welcome the coolness, the winds help to, well, refresh the situation. The air quality improved with that stagnant air mass being blown out of our vicinity, and with wind gusts still in that 30K, maybe 35K range, especially in Chatham-Kent towards 10, 11 p.m. tonight, it will make us feel cooler indeed, and keep the air quality stat in that 1 or 2 range on the air quality index. That would be in the low or good range in terms of the quality of the air we're breathing. Temperatures close to 27 degrees within the city limits. For the Rose City, today was slightly below seasonal, mostly cloudy through the late afternoon into now the early evening. Temperatures dropping off just a bit. We are close to about 25 degrees in Chatham-Kent. That's 77 Fahrenheit, 26 or 79 in Windsor at the airport. It does feel warmer because of the humidity. And when you factor the two together, it feels like about 31 to 33 in extreme southwestern Ontario. Good news is that we are cooling and staying cool tonight and through early tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, the prairies are warming up just a touch, but they've been cool-ish, and that has been the trend over the last couple of days. A good westerly and northwesterly flows helping to clear things out. The worst weather as well south of Lake Erie and to the east of now, well, close to Gananoque, Cornwall, and Ottawa, Ontario, moving into eastern Quebec and the Maritimes. The situation for tonight is relatively calm. A light breeze out of the north, sustained at around 10 kilometers per hour, not really gusty. We'll have to wait and see how Saturday, really Friday night into Saturday, rolls around. There's potential for some showers and or thunderstorms. I think tonight's quiet, cool. Tomorrow morning is sunny and bright and beautiful, in fact. Tonight, though, cloudy. But look at this, temperatures down to the upper teens before midnight instead of the low 20s. We'll see That clearing early tomorrow morning before dawn. Sunny, going up to 26. That's below seasonal. Humidity makes it feel like 31. Showers Saturday and then Sunday possibly 26, 25. Then 24, 29, 32, and 32. A sunny start to next week, Monday, Tuesday, and then warming up through the midweek. That's your 7-day forecast, courtesy of Sal's Heating and Cooling.
Lifetime. Brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
We've all heard about Narcan saving people exposed to fentanyl, but in a first for stateside paramedics, it was used to save a puppy. NBC's Drew Mickelson has a story from Washington.
Lacey firefighters were called out here to the Nisqually Reservation yesterday morning to do a medical check on someone who was under investigation. One of the paramedics, though, realized that it was not only the person who needed to be checked out.
In my total of 17 years as a career firefighter, this is a first.
When Lieutenant Bryce Craig got to the Mini-Mart parking lot, he noticed a dog in the subject's car who was not in good shape.
Unresponsive, eyes closed, tongue out of its mouth, not breathing very well at all.
And when the Lacey Fire District 3 paramedic was told opioids were also in the car, he decided to use Narcan to try and revive the pup.
In this situation with this dog, since the nose was so small, I just used a little bit of the tip in a very small dose since it was a small puppy.
And after just a couple of minutes, the dog was back.
He was licking lots of folks there. Made everyone on scene between Lacey Fire and Nisqually PD very happy that the pup was back to normal.
Lacey Fire has given oxygen to animals before, including a baby gerbil. Their trucks have pet kits with smaller oxygen masks meant for animals, but that puppy is the first to get Narcan from District 3.
Anytime that myself and my team has the opportunity to help our community out is why I do this job.
Thurston County Animal Services was also out here with the dog at the Mini-Mart yesterday, but at this point, it's not clear what has happened to the dog. This is a Nisqually Police Department investigation. We have left messages with the chief. We have not heard back on the status of the dog and whether or not the owner will face any charges. The Lacey firefighters just hope the dog is safe.
Next door in Michigan, a one-of-a-kind 3D printer is turning heads. It prints concrete and promises to change how we build homes. NBC reporter Mark Scholet explains.
We've been doing traditional framing techniques for over 50 years.
Spend any time at NMC's Aero Park Laboratory and you'll see all the signs and tools of traditional stick-built construction. But today, something new and innovative showed up.
It's the first one in the world, this specific model.
And it had the instructors turning into students themselves,
giving us the 101 on how this machine works.
This is the latest addition to the lab, a delivery from Alabama-based Build Additive.
We design and manufacture 3D concrete printing equipment that's specifically designed for printing homes.
Yep, it's a 3D printer, but instead of polymers and plastics, it uses good old-fashioned concrete.
It basically places the mortar in the shape of the house.
This machine, once programmed with a design, can print in concrete, walls up to 10 feet high and 26 feet long, and not just straight ones.
This machine can create a curved wall with the same energies it will a straight wall. So if you talk to an architect, they want shape and form, they want design. We can service that.
It may not replace traditional building, but it may help in replacing a declining workforce in the masonry field.
For every 6 people my age that are leaving masonry construction, only one's coming in. So there's a real skilled workforce gap.
NMC saw a training need and an opportunity to address it.
If you would have asked me 2 years ago if I thought we'd be 3D concrete printing homes, I would have said no, but I'm excited that we decided to go down this avenue, and we're excited to get it going.
A win for Build Additive, the company behind the printer.
I look around and I've met the instructors here, I see what you're doing. Their pedagogy, the way they teach, they're really big on fundamentals, understanding like how to cut with a handsaw before you use a miter saw. That means a lot to us. There's a lot of fundamentals in 3D concrete printing that can't be ignored. We focus on those, and we trust that you're going to be able to teach those to the next generation.
And a win for NMC students, the next generation of builders who may see a lot of things like this before their career's over.
I think they're going to be excited. I think this is something that's brand new. You know, like I said, we've been doing things the same way for a long time, and I think we need to disrupt the industry a little bit.
Well, Hannah, it's that time again. What's coming up in the weather report?
We just got a surprising celebrity endorsement for the Detroit Lions this year.
Stay tuned.
Her song from the late 50s just went viral on TikTok. Now, a new generation is mourning the loss of Connie Francis.
Pretty little baby, you say that maybe you'll be thinking of me and try to love me.
Known for classics like Pretty Little Baby, Francis became the first woman to top the Billboard charts and found herself back in the spotlight this year as her hit resurfaced online. Last month, she called the renewed attention a blessing. Her life, however, was marked by deep tragedy, surviving a brutal assault and losing her brother to murder. Recently hospitalized for pain, Connie Francis died yesterday at the age of 87. Turning now to the weekly weather report with Hannah Witherby from our sister radio station Virgin Radio and our own Melanie Kentner. Ladies, kicking off tonight's weather report with a big congratulations.
Hannah, you're not the only one expecting a baby this year. It looks like Pete Davidson is about to become a dad.
Yes, while many people consider Pete to have hit daddy status already, it is about to become official. He is expecting a child with his girlfriend, Elsie Hewitt, sometime this winter, and they're both going to be first-time parents.
Well, that's very exciting. And Drake has a new baby of his own in the form of a very expensive new chain.
Yeah, this thing is crazy. It is inspired by Beauty and the Beast. Drake has commissioned some new bling that looks like Cogsworth the talking clock. So this work was done by jewelry designer Alex Moss, and while they didn't reveal the price, the 200-carat piece is likely several $1 million.
Wow. And he's also been making headlines for welcoming some special guests at his shows. This particular guest took Drake fans by complete surprise.
In the best way possible, Vanessa Carlton appeared during one of his sets last week to perform her song 1,000 Miles, and the crowd was appropriately hyped.
So random.
Right?
And another talented singer, Ed Sheeran, is rooting for the Detroit Lions, apparently.
Yeah, on a podcast recently, he said he wants the Lions to win the Super Bowl next. Whom among us?
Go Lions. And Jeff Bezos' wife, Lauren Sanchez, could have yet another thing to celebrate. Rumors are swirling that he is buying her Vogue as a wedding gift.
That's what industry sources are saying, that he's looking into buying not just Vogue, but their parent company, Condé Nast. So Lauren is a former journalist, and this gift could mean a lot to her.
That's a big one. Well, if you're looking to spend some money a little closer to home and have a few laughs, you can look to Caesars Windsor tomorrow night.
All I want is someone to eat with.
That's right. Comedian Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias is going to be taking the Coliseum stage tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And any Kesha fans, she's going to be performing at Pine Knob on Saturday night with special guests, the Scissor Sisters.
Sound like great shows. Thanks, Hannah, and that's your weather report.
I like it.
Unscripted, unpredictable, and unapologetic. Wake up with Hannah and Johnny on 93.9 Virgin Radio.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. Come together and show your colors at the 2025 Windsor Essex Pride Fest, August 1st to the 7th at various locations and August 8th to the 10th at Lansbury Park. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kentner. And Melanie, you've got details for us on ways to experience Peche Island this summer.
That's right. The city is offering visitors both self-guided and guided tours this summer. The Discover Peche Island tour takes about 2 hours with a 1-hour guided tour around the island and a 2-kilometer walk on the island's trail. This option runs Fridays and Saturdays from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. until October. Tickets are $30 per person, and the tour will leave from the Lakeview Park Marina. If you prefer the self-guided option, you can take the city boat over for about $10 a person. We've got the link with the schedule and the booking options at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
We also have an online story of note, Melanie, on a proposed way to help Canada's housing crisis.
Yes, a new report suggests thousands of new homes could be built each year if interprovincial trade barriers are removed. The CMHC study says that could add 30,000 housing starts each year, pushing the total close to 280,000. A chief economist says reducing constraints on west to east transportation would maximize the use of domestic materials. The report also projects stronger demand for home ownership, a lower unemployment rate, and higher household incomes as a result. You can find more details on the report on our website. And in our social spotlight, Coldplay lead singer Chris Martin calls out a couple at a concert in Boston.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Okay, now we don't know who they are, but the moment has gone viral on social media with all kinds of speculation. It definitely looks like they don't want to be on that Jumbotron, Stefanie.
Melanie, it does look like someone's in trouble.
Hard to say what's going on, but maybe it'll all come out sooner or later.
Okay, thank you, Melanie, and that's what's happening now. In other news, the new Superman movie isn't just soaring at the box office, it's packing a positive punch in real life, too.
Crypto. Home.
He's scrappy, super, and sporting a cape. Crypto, Superman's loyal canine sidekick, is turning heads on and off the screen. Since the movie's release, Google searches for "adopt a dog near me" have jumped over 500%, with a big boost in interest for schnauzers, the same breed mix Crypto resembles. More than 450 pets were adopted during a promo tied to the film, proving this dog's got real-world superpowers. But experts warn every pup needs more than a hero moment. They need time, patience, and lifelong commitment.
Bottle captured a happy moment, and it's arrived on our shores.
A love story sails the seas from Newfoundland to the UK in a little glass bottle. That story still to come. A little relief with the winds today, but I am looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be cool and comfortable. Cool for this time of the year, mid-20s. Not bad. In fact, we'll be a couple of degrees below seasonal in Chatham-Kent, maybe a degree and a half here in Windsor, Essex. We'll take it at 26 degrees Celsius. Note the UV rating is high, so use that sunblock. Showers possible for the weekend, both days. Temperatures again still in the mid-20s. Sunday on Monday, we'll see increasing cloudiness through the midweek with temperatures warming Wednesday and Thursday of next week into the low 30s. Tonight should be a refreshed evening into an early morning start for Friday.
Okay, good time for a walk.
Yes.
Sherry, thank you. Ricardo, key meeting today in Ottawa.
Yeah, we're heading to the capital, Stefanie. There's a big meeting there between the Prime Minister and Indigenous leaders. Several First Nations are attending that summit aimed at discussing the Liberal government's controversial legislation meant to fast-track nation-building projects. Like its provincial counterpart, First Nations feel their constitutional rights are being railroaded by the bill. Mark Carney is pledging to listen to their concerns and is promising to write a new chapter together with Indigenous communities. We'll take a look at that and, of course, much more on the way tonight at 11. Steph.
Okay, thank you. And finally tonight, a Canadian love story that's made a splash across the pond. A message in a bottle tossed into the ocean 13 years ago has washed ashore in the UK, and the couple who wrote it still together and still in love.
John and Kate Gay were walking along their local beach on the west coast of Ireland with their dog when they found a wine bottle.
Kate went and picked it up, and then I said, well, there's a message in there.
The bottle, still in good condition, the paper inside, damp, but with this message. Anita and Brad's day trip to Bell Island. Today, we enjoyed dinner, this bottle of wine, and each other on the edge of the island. If you find this, please call us. The date was September 14th, 2012.
What's so lovely is it's such a happy story. The bottle captured a happy moment, and it's arrived on our shores, after going through so many storms and challenges along the way.
At first, no one answered the number from that message in the bottle, so they put a call out on Facebook. Within hours, they managed to find the Anita and Brad.
We just didn't think anyone was going to find it. Thought, let's put my parents' landline on it. And that's what they were trying to reach out to.
The Canadian couple were on a date when they got the idea.
We found a little piece of paper in the car and just scribbled a note that we thought would be, just like a private little special moment for us. And we put it in the bottle and sealed it up very tightly. And Brad threw it, just threw it into the ocean.
Never did they imagine that it would cross the Atlantic, thousands of miles away. They would go on to marry and raise 3 children. 13 years later, still very much in love.
Oh, we have a family.
Beautiful family and a nice life. And
we're still in love.
Like each other.
I have the shivers. You guys know I love love. And the best part is they're still together.
Yeah,
and they do have 3 beautiful children.
It's a great story. You should note that the Atlantic waves, if you will, and the currents, there's some weather and gravitational pull. There's a lot of science involved there.
You're not surprised then?
But I'm not surprised. However, I do think it's nice that a loving couple, found the loving couple's message in a bottle.
Yeah, very sweet. There you go.
Okay, on behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we'll see you again tonight at 11 for a late look at local news.
Good night.
Good night.